All events discussed in this are hypothetical and mostly never happened as far as the FBI is concerned. Okay, so I've been to Russia. I've been to Russia more than a couple of times. I've been to Russia so many times that I can't ever go there again. Basically, I was going to end up one of those Brittany Griner people. I have a whole shit ton of warrants out for my arrest there that are basically, I'm a spy, but I wasn't really a spy. I was a thief. Like, that's what you should get. We were doing lots of things, but the thing that I want to talk to you about now is my favorite view I ever had was in Siberia. Looking out over a fucking runway over a cargo deck. I was along on this. Basically, a man that I worked for needed to go face to face with somebody, and the best way to get us there was to put us on as loadmasters on this cargo thing. And we were flying 10 feet off the fucking Arctic Ocean the whole way. Maybe not 10 feet, maybe it was 20. I don't know. We were flying low enough you could count the fucking polar bears all the way from somewhere to Siberia. And it's fucking crazy, man. It's cold as shit. Even with the heat on or whatever, like, we're wearing jackets in the fucking cargo area. But like that, again, it's the nature of a fucking cargo plane. The view, though, looking off the fucking ramp of the fucking C-130. Fucking, looking out into fucking nothing. It's a stretch of white nothing. I got chosen to go along on such things whenever we had to do it because, like, believe it or not, when you could pick one person to ensure your personal safety in some rough neck of the woods, mean motherfuckers around the world always picked me. And they always picked me because, like, I don't look like I could kick your ass other than the fact that I'm huge. And many times I was like the guy along for the ride who was like, oh, him, he's harmless. Just don't touch me and he won't be a problem for you. You know, that's the nature of being like 6'5" and a blacksmith. Like, especially at that point, like I was fat, but I was, you know, every bit of 450 pounds and could do probably 10 push-ups. Yeah, that's why I was along. Without guns, that's handy. Let's put it that way. Not to mention the fact that, like, I'm fun to hang out with. Most people aren't fun to hang out with. Whoever you're going to do this with, you're going to be spending an inordinate amount of time with. I have a picture of me and him in front of the Ferris wheel in fucking Chernobyl. It's a Polaroid. I think it's interesting that we're going to war with the Russians. I always thought they were jolly good fun to go do shit in their fucking country, basically. I was hoping we could keep this whole enemy status going. Like, my nightmare is that we have peace with them. Like, why would we want peace with... I don't want war with Russia, but I don't want peace with Russia either. Like, I think this may be what the West is trying to reestablish is... Let's get the Cold War going again for the fucking financials of it. It would make sense. I don't know. Ukraine sucks. No, when I say Ukraine sucks, that it's the person telling you this story that says Ukraine sucks. No need to go into details on that, but Ukraine sucks. It's like Russia, but worse. The parts of Russia that I like are like the Asian steppe. Siberia in particular, man. Like if I had my druthers, I would make, New Texas in the middle of fucking Siberia. I like the fucking reindeer herders. Not to mention the fact that they eat psychedelic mushrooms and trip balls until the wee hours of the night and do some pretty gay shit while they do it. Not that I've done that before. Maybe. I always loved the anthropology people because, like, basically most of them were kinky white women that wanted to do mushrooms and get fucked. And, I fit right in with that. In a way. I went to school for archaeology. My teacher said that, this isn't like you get to be Indiana Jones, right? And I said, that depends entirely on what kind of jobs you take, isn't it? And he just started laughing. He's like, so you're going to be a grave robber? Like, if it pays. I was one of those kind of anthropologists. I wasn't really welcome too much in the whole, like, science-y part of that shit. The guy that I hung out with that I liked the most was my anthropology 101 and fucking 226 professor who studied Navajo code talkers and, like, Kiowa, Apache, and Comanche military societies. That dude I could hang with, and, like, that's how I have any schooling at all, basically. Everybody else there kind of figured that I was going to end up a pirate for some reason. Don't know where they would have ever gotten that idea. I keep joking that Victor Boat owes me money. I think that's funny. FBI, don't arrest me. I never worked with Victor Boat. I think he was in jail by the time I was ever fucking in Russia. The cool part about Russia is they will sell you shit, no questions asked, basically. Makes it real easy to sell. And, that's everything from, like, you think AKs and shit. The big market in shit now is not in AKs, like, it's in all the other crap. There's plenty of AKs and ARs all around the world. Like, if the Russians were smart at this point, they would focus on optics and shit, electronics and fucking accessories and shit. They would develop an aftermarket kit for a standard AKM, AK-74, that was worth a damn. I don't think that's really possible. And their whole, like, new AK with a rail is stupid. Anyway, I heard a story the other day about, in the fucking, Doolittle raid on Tokyo, one of the B-25s made it all the way to the Soviet Union and landed safely. And then their crew was put under arrest for being, people that had attacked Japan, which was an ally or frenemy, whatever, of Russia. So they didn't want to fuck up that status. So, like, the Russians, like, slapped fake handcuffs on the American pilots and then took them out to dinner, I'm guessing, or some shit. I just think it's funny that they had to pretend to be arrested. Because you know that 100% Russian pilots at an airbase placing them under arrest after they just flew a B-25 Mitchell off a carrier, bombed Japan, and then flew all the way to Russia to land safe? You really think they're going to spend a night inside of a fucking jail cell? Like, that's some shit we party about. Like, 100%. I love Russians, and like, this is the sad thing of all of this shit, man, is that we're gonna end up killing a lot of them. They're not prepared for the level of warfare that we're gonna bring. I've been there. I've seen their shit. I've seen it up close and personal. It's one of those things, like, a lot of people fucking, you know, I'm not gonna go there. It's cool to be able to actually touch shit and see shit. And that was always me. I wanted experiences, and that's why I bought guns at all. Like, I never wanted to have a gun collection forever. That's half the reason I was taking pictures and making videos, is I kind of figured this was a means to an end. I didn't know where that was going to be, but I figured having a bunch of guns wasn't bad. And at the end of it, I ended up deciding to make knives. So, you know, I needed money for tools, and like, that worked for that. Anyway, I look back at some of the things that I've fucking done and been like, man, a sane person wouldn't do these things. I think that's part of the point. I think that's half of the reason anyone ever fucking had me do anything. It's because, like, I was a little fucking crazy, and like, who'd ever believe me? There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of, you know, I'm fun to hang out with, and you know, yada yada yada. I'm not really that worried about any of this coming back on me now. It's been quite a while, and none of this really ever happened. And I changed details and locations and events of things to fucking suit myself. It's half of what we have to do here because of what's being discussed, but like, I don't know. I would like to have some version of some of these stories out there on the internet. Like, most of the fucking story on this fucking thing is just fucking hanging out and talking shit about fucking movies in the back of a fucking cargo plane. The view as we got off the fucking plane in Siberia, though, that's what I'd like to communicate to you. I have it in my head, like, you know, just fucking vast whiteness. Crazy. It's like going to Antarctica. I always wanted to go to Antarctica too. I always want to go to the Arctic. And I guess technically I've been there, but like, we weren't there for very long. It's probably best. Well, anyway, I hope we don't end up in a fucking nuclear war with Russia. But if we do, my consoling thing to you is that right now the propaganda machine is spinning a lot of shit to make us think Russia's a worse thing than it is. And they're also leaving out some shit that makes them a worse thing. So it's like it's a mixed bag. It's both not as bad as they're saying and worse. You know, that's what happens when people lie to you. We're being lied to kind of en masse. And honestly, I think that if we did not have the fucking crazy ass leftists in charge of America, Putin wouldn't have invaded the Ukraine. We are causing this shit to happen by who we are electing. I've seen videos coming out of Russia where they're talking about, you know, basically the fact that we're castrating children in schools, and that we must be a part of some like new world order, globalist, whatever, that Russia doesn't want to be a part of. You know, if the shoe fits. I'm glad Victor Bout's out of prison. I don't think any man who fucking flies as free as he does should fucking sit in jail. You know, I'm sorry that he works for our enemy. I'm sorry that maybe I respect our enemies that fight more than I respect some of you that don't. And honestly, fucking, we should have gotten all our people back for him. But, like, we drug him out of fucking Russia and fucking threw him in an American prison for, like, 10 years. He got treated like shit. Just my opinion. I think our world sucks right now because we let the fucking politicians and the piss ants run it. Maybe we should change that. See you guys later.